It's come firing out of the London Eye. Well, if you're looking at it and imagine this is the clock face, I'm pretty much almost to the 12 o'clock position. I'm on that London Eye. I'm waving. You won't be able to see the wave, but anyway, I waved anyway. Now, what a lot of people don't realise about the London Eye is that it's so very nearly, it was so very close to not happening at all. It was only because of the tenacity and determination of the two young architects at the time that it eventually got the go-ahead. They persevered with that idea, knowing it was good for London, knowing it was great for the skyline. Well, one of those architects, Julie Barfield, spoke to Wendy Hurrell about how the idea came about and how this all took shape.
We didn't want the landmark to be something that, you just looked at. It was something that would be participatory, that it would be about celebration, and basically it's about celebrating London.
For Julia Barfield, the appreciation of her defining piece of architecture a quarter of a century on is undiminished, and this is a moment to reminisce.
Part of the reason for the wheel was it's a symbol of time, turning, obviously, for the Millennium. A circle has no beginning and no end, and it's a symbol of renewal and the cycles of life. With this, it's more about the unfolding view, and the journey is as important as the arrival. In fact, the whole thing is a journey, and that's the experience, really. At the beginning, we actually had 60 capsules. So, being a real symbol of time with 60 minutes, 60 seconds. But then we realised that would have been, A, too expensive, but B, you would have been looking into the capsule next door rather than at the view. So the symbolism worked, but actually the experience didn't.
The wheel wouldn't have happened at all were it not for the tenacity of Julia Barfield and her late husband, David Marks. They used CGI, technology very much in its infancy in the early 90s, to visualise the audacious 135-metre design. Eventually, backing came from the Evening Standard newspaper and the money followed from British Airways, so construction could begin.
It was brought down the River Thames in pieces, wasn't it? It was constructed over quite some time.
At the Marks Barfield practice in Clapham, Julia shows me some of the challenges.
I mean, the actual wheel came in 4 pieces that were put together horizontally on the river.
It was then slowly lifted.
When the wheel was only part way up, it was suspended at 35 degrees over the river at one point. And David and I went and sat at one of the benches across the river very early in the morning and watched the sun rise. And as we were going past, you can see Boadicea.
Yes, I know.
And it really looked like Boadicea was welcoming the London Eye onto the London Skyline.
The curved glass capsules arrived next, again by boat along the Thames. And just before the Millennium,
we received a phone call saying, if you can get here in half an hour, you can come up on the first flight. And so we did. And we loved the fact that St Paul's was preeminent.
It was a view of the capital we'd never had before, from an attraction that regenerated the South Bank. And today it sits comfortably, integral to the skyline and London's New Year celebrations.
The reason we put the capsules on the outside was that when you were at the very top, you had these 360-degree views, completely uninterrupted, like being on top of a mountain in the middle of the city.
Wendy Hurrell, BBC London.
Julia Barfield there speaking